Welcome back to another video. So we are currently exploring the features within the generative shape design workbench. So this is one of the most powerful workbenches in CATIA, and this is why CATIA is a leading software within surface design. So this is the main reason. Now we are going to discuss the disassemble feature. This will be available within the operations tab. If for some reason you don't have the operations tab over here enabled, you can right click somewhere on the empty ribbon and you can search over here for operations, and that will hide and unhide those features. So it's also important to have this within a defined position. For example, if I will drag and drop it maybe to the second screen, when I will start CATIA the second time, it will be available over there. So keep that in mind. You can also dock it over here if you want to. If you're going to hold down shift, you can make it vertical or horizontal. So it's up to you how you will customize that. I will position it somewhere over here, and let's see the disassemble feature functionality. But before, you can also go over here within insert, and underneath the operations, you're going to find disassemble. So within my previous video, I discussed the join, healing, curve smooth, surface simplification, and untrim. And now let's take a look at disassemble. If I will click on this disassemble, we're gonna see the following item popping over here. So this will be the dialog box. We can split either all the cells or only the domains, and we're gonna see what is the difference between a mono cell and a mono domain body. So this will mostly work with curves and surfaces. For example, over here, if I will right click center graph on this, I will see that this will be a sketch. So this will be that sketch. If I will edit that, but I need to cancel disassemble because as we can see, CATIA won't allow me to go there. If I will go in this sketch and title to cut, we're gonna see we are gonna have a line, and that line will be patterned in a linear array over here. So with the disassemble, if I will click on that, we're gonna see that we can either do all cells or domains only. In this case, the domains will be similar to the cell over here. So if I will go all cells, I will click OK. We're gonna have those splitted. But since I have a multi-geometrical set element over here, all of those currently lines which have been disassembled will be positioned over here within the multi-split geometrical set. So keep that in mind. It's really important. If you are familiar with CATIA and you are working with multiple bodies or multiple geometrical sets, it's always recommended to define that. So currently, if I would like to have those within the split and keep remove over here, I will define this as a work object. And now if I will do the disassemble of this sketch, even though the sketch was added over here, CATIA will always need to be specified. Okay, I want this to be splitted over here. Otherwise, it will just split within the last active work object. So keep that in mind. Now we see all those lines that have been added. CATIA will also do a naming. For example, now we have starting from line 35 all the way to line 55. So there are 20 lines over here. If I will delete those, and if I will do the same split again, we're gonna see the naming will start from where it was initially stopped. So incremental, now it will start from 56. Also keep that in mind regarding the naming from CATIA. We can also do disassemble for join elements. For example, if I will do a join between this sketch that has those lines and this one that will have a circle, we can also, in this case, disable the check connectivity so that we're going to have that join working. And now if I will go and do a disassemble for the resulting join, we're going to see that the cells will be 23 and the domains 22 over here. So if I will split this by all cells, I will click OK. We're gonna see again, we're gonna have those lines. So as we can see from 77 all the way to 97, but we're also gonna have two circles over here. So they will actually be not full circles, they will be half arcs over here. And if I will delete those and I will redo the disassemble for the same join, for the domains only, I will click OK. And we're gonna see if we're gonna do the domains only, this will actually be a circle over here. So that's the difference between those two sections over there. Now let's do something different over here. Let me just define some new objects to work with, and I will mute my phone. Okay. So I will go over here to start, I will go to shape, and I will go to imagine and shape. And just like within my previous video, I will position over here a sphere. And I will also position a pyramid on top of that. And now I want this pyramid to be positioned a little bit on top of this. And I also would want to have this rotated. Therefore, I will go for the rotation over here within imagine and shape. And on this axis, I will slightly rotate that. So it will be like this. So it's not perfectly aligned. But usually when you work with freeform, you don't go for perfect geometry. If you want to learn imagine and shape, I have various videos on my channel. There are currently over 250 videos regarding CATIA v5, so there's a lot of content already added over there. Now I will jump back to the disassembly feature. But before I can do this disassemble, so I could do a disassemble directly, for example, on this pyramid. And if I will go over here by cells, I will click OK. This will actually give me individual surfaces. So as you can see over here, for each side of the pyramid, we're going to have 3 of those. If you are not familiar with the other features over here, for example, we have the possibility to do surface simplification. In this case, if I would want to have those 3 joined together, I can easily do that using surface simplification. I can click OK, and that will be over here within a single face. Currently, we also see those sections because we still have those over here visible. So all the way from, let's see, we're gonna have surface 6 over here. This will be 7, and this should be 5. And as we can see, those will be joined together. And the main advantage of using this operation is that afterwards we can work with this directly. For example, if I want to extrude this resulting surface, I can use for example, the compass direction, but I also need to position the compass. So I will grab that. Maybe I want this to be on that direction. So let's see, it's snapped over there. Afterwards, I want to have that extruded. So I want that surface simplification onto the compass direction. We're going to see that currently there are some problems with this. So around the vertex, because we don't actually have that direction properly defined. Let me just see exactly why is that. So I will hide all of those. I just want to keep that. And this is because within the surface simplification, we don't have that extracted. So that's the main problem. This is why this is not working for extrude, because we have various faces pointing into different directions. So in order to fix this, what we can do is do an extraction. And I will only extract this face over here. And with this extract, I can align it to the compass. And now I will be able to extrude this using the compass direction. And as you can see, we can add this only to a distance. We can also flip it, or we can increase this by increasing the range over here. This is one of the main advantages of using the compass as a direction, because we can slightly move that. We just need to update the direction. And we're going to see that now the extrude will have that different direction. So you can do some interesting surfaces using this technique if you are working with the compass. Something that is not that common and easy to do otherwise. Because you can also add a direction over here. You can create a line, or you can set a predefined line or so, but you can also work directly with the compass. Okay, and regarding that disassemble feature, let's discuss that. So I will delete those. I will go back to the state where I had those two subdivisions over here added. I will make the compass not snap because I won't need that for now. And now initially I will do a split, and I want to cut this pyramid with the bottom sphere. If I will click OK, we're going to have the resulting split. I will hide the first subdivision, and this will be that result. So we see how that pyramid has been trimmed. And now we can make use of disassemble, and this is where this is really powerful, because I can do a disassemble for this. And we're gonna see in this case, this will be splitted into 12 cells. If I will click OK, we're gonna have all of those multiple surfaces over here. And now, just like previously, I can do, for example, a join between those on this face. They will be all joined over here. And I have the possibility to use also the untrim feature in this case. For this join, I will click OK. As we can see, this will be, so one or more elements could not be untrimmed because the geometry was not shared by every cell. So let's see exactly why that happened. This will be that join. I will also hide the split. And I want to have this untrimmed, so only this join. I also want to create curves. Maybe the same error will appear now. As we can see, CATIA will not be able to fill in that. Usually, when I tried to do this previously, of recording this video, I managed to untrim that. But if you encounter this problem, you can just fill it manually. So that means I will create a line from here over here. I can click OK, and afterwards I will use the fill feature. So I will fill this section with that support. The following one, I always add support for tangents. Okay, sorry. And we're gonna have that closed contour over here. So for the last one, I will not add any support. If I will click OK, we're going to have that filled in. And now we can join that together. But if you're going to check my previous videos, we can also make use of untrim. And in some cases, CATIA will manage to do that. Now, if you're going to go back to the section where we had all of those individual surfaces, if you're going to take a look at those, they will have this icon. So we're going to have a surface over there and that red mark over there. For example, if you're gonna copy this surface, I can copy and paste it, and it will have the same icon over here, as we can see. I will also delete all of those and go back to the original split, which is this one. And if I'm just going to select the split and I will Ctrl+C to copy it, or right-click copy, and I'm going to paste it, it will have the same feature as the split, as you can see. If I'm just going to Ctrl+V, it will just multiply the split. But if I will right-click and I will do a paste special, so this will not be just copy-paste over here, I will do a paste special, and I will go as a result. This will just convert this to a surface, so it will no longer be a split. If I will click OK, the same icon, just like within the disassemble, this will act as an individual surface over here. For the split, the main advantage is that if I will double click this, this will give me the possibility to edit, and we're gonna see how this split has been created. So it will have some history. But the newly defined surface, even though geometrically they are the same, if I would to export this to another software, they will actually be the same points linked by the following curves and field. So they will not be different, but CATIA will see the split differently, and you can work with that as well. Now, let's do some other elements over here. For example, we can use disassemble for multiple joint components. They don't need to be within the same plane, because over here we had all of those lines and this circle within the same plane. But now I will do over here a spline, and within this spline I will connect that point to this point. We can also choose the tangencies over here, so I want this edge to be the tangency for the second point, I want this to be flipped, and I will do the same over here. I will add that to be the tangency, and we're gonna see this was previously reversed correctly, so I will not reverse the direction. I will click OK, and now in order to do a disassembly for these following sketches, initially I need to have them join, because if I will just go and I want to do a disassemble, for example for this, we're gonna see that the input element will be 1 over here, and that will be splitted into either one cell, which will be that spline, or one domain. But if I would like to add this as well over here, if I will hold down Control, that will add it over here. But if I will just manually click on that, click on this with the left click without holding Control, that will just replace that selection. So keep that in mind. You see, this will only input one element, but if I will hold down Control, this will just add multiple elements over here. And I can do a disassemble like this directly. If I will click like this, OK, we're gonna have the following curve over here converted from that spline. We're gonna have over here a circle, as CATIA will see this as an arc, a line, and again a circle and a line. If this would have been a spline, CATIA would have recognized this as a spline, but since this was initially generated using a circle, CATIA will actually recognize that when disassembling. Because if you're gonna do a measurement for this, let's see, we see that CATIA will read that correctly. So we see the radius 54.083 millimeters, and this is why CATIA will also recognize that as a circle, so keep that in mind. Over here, if I will try to measure this, since this is a spline, I'm just gonna receive that length. So the length of the spline will be 185 millimeters. So if you want use that control to select multiple elements, what you can do is have all of those joined, so it will act the same. I'm gonna leave initially over here the check connectivity, and I'm gonna have the following result. We see that the result contains 5 domains and they are not connected. So therefore I will just uncheck that. I will click OK, and now this will be linked together within a single join feature. So if I will go and disassemble the join, that will be one input, but CATIA will read this as 5 cells or 5 domains in this case. If I will click OK, that again will be split over here. So disassemble is a really useful feature because you can work with some complex surface modeling, and keep that in mind if you are working with CATIA V5. So I hope you enjoy this kind of content. I will add a section over here at the end regarding my CATIA V5 tips and tricks channel, so consider to take a look on that playlist if you want to learn more about CATIA, because there are a lot of content on YouTube, but most of them are not directly presented. So you're just gonna see someone do some let's say some modifications, but if they are not explained, you cannot properly understand them. At least that's my conclusion. So this will be the CATIA V5 playlist. As we can see over here, there are currently over 250 videos, and this is a public list, and this will contain a lot of good CATIA V5 tips and tricks. So whether you are a beginner or you are experienced with CATIA, I'm sure that you will find something useful here. So consider to give this a try, and you will find a lot of answers over here, because as we can see over here for generative shape design, we have the video regarding how to sew surfaces, how to join surfaces, how to use healing, how to use curve smooth, surface simplification, and untrim. And I will also add this video over here as I have discussed the disassemble feature within generative shape design. So let me know in the comment section what are your questions regarding this, and also consider to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of content. So I will position a similar video over here on the left side and a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.